Hello, traders. Welcome to Stock Talk with Dr. E and David. Whether you are just trying to get familiar with the stock market, if you're just curious in investing and actually trying to figure out how it works, you're in the right place.
That's right. So today's video is going to be all about the stock market, what it is, why it matters, how do I get started investing. Yeah, even if you're brand new, it's going to be no fluff, no nothing, just essential things you need to know to get started in the stock market competently.
Exactly. So when we first start investing, we had questions too, like what is a stock? How can you actually invest in it and make money out of it? Now is a good time to start, or is it a bad time to start? When is a good time for me to jump in? So we're going to break it all down for you in simple terms so you guys can get it, make money, and take it home.
All right. We're walking through key terms, tips, and tools, plus sharing some of our personal experiences from the stock market journey.
Yes, man, we have a lot of experiences that I know you guys can learn from. We have a whole bunch of don't do lists, okay?
Yeah, we got wins and we got losses. Because one thing for sure, you're in the stock market, there will be losses and you need to be prepared for that. But there should be wins and hopefully more wins than losses.
If you're doing it right, there's definitely going to be more wins than losses.
And you'll be doing it right. We got confidence.
Yes, so please grab a notebook, hit that like and subscribe button.
Please hit like and subscribe. Let's start there first.
And let's dive right in. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. The stock market is where shares of a company are bought and sold. It is a place to invest in business and build long-term wealth.
So we start with some of these company names that you need to get used to. Companies that you probably already know, like your Apples, your Microsoft, Tesla, Walmart, Visa, Google, Home Depot, Lululemon. These are some of the names that you need to get familiar with as you look up companies to trade or to invest in when you get into the stock market. They also have ticker symbols on the side that makes it easier for you to find them on whatever platform you decide to trade on.
Yes, exactly. So why should you get invested? Investing in the stock market, it helps you actually build wealth over time. It also helps you beat inflation. You own what you actually believe in. So things like Nike, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Tesla, whatever it is that you believe in, Ford, Delta, like if you have, flyer miles. So anything that you have, you can definitely move forward and plant your money tree and move upward, okay? Into the wealth tree.
The wealth tree. So the key stock market terms that you're going to need to know. Let's start with stock. And stock is the ownership in a company. Like, you purchase a part of a company when you buy a share of their stock. Shares, the share is a piece of that stock. So it's kind of like goes hand in hand. If you're buying a share, you're getting stock on the stock market. That's just the one piece of the stock. So, and then your portfolio. You need to get used to your portfolio because you're going to hear this 10 trillion million times because that's your collection of investments. Everything that you invest in, from crypto, the dividends, to trade on the stock market, whatever, it's all in there. And then, like I just said, dividends. Dividends is the cash paid to you by the companies. For you invested in them, you get a percentage of they'll send you a check every month for whatever percent that they give you the dividends.
Yes. And so how you make your money grow. So you have capital gains where you buy low and sell high. You have dividends when you get paid while you hold, just like what David was just talking about. You have compound growth where you reinvest over and over again. And one benefit about the stock market is it's kind of like a huge mall that you walk into. A mall normally has like about 30 to 40 stores, depending on which one you go into. Like the stock market has over 2,000 companies. And then of course you have the top 500 companies in the S&P 500. But overall, you have a pick of 2,000 companies that you can invest and grow and do capital gains and compound growth with. So you have so many opportunities.
So what those opportunities come investing styles. There's different ways you can invest, different ways to do things in the stock market. The first one we're going to talk about is buying a whole long term. Buying a whole long term is a share that you just you grab right now however much money you want to put on this shares, because you say, okay, Apple in 5 years I can see Apple growing to this much amount of money or whatever, or Tesla, or you get into the military complex, or Boeing. It's something that is going to be there for a while. That's what you want to invest in. Don't just go long term on some crappy investment that you haven't really looked into because somebody said, "Oh, this is going to fly. Give it time." No, you need to do your due diligence and look at these companies and say, "Hey, this long term, I can see this going over far." Then we're doing swing trades. Swing trade is short term trading. That means you get into it now. You say, "Hey, in a week or two, I think it's going to go up $1 or $2. Let me make a couple hundred or a couple $50, $60 and get out. Pocket it and do whatever. Hopefully, pocket it and go back in. You know what I mean? With the other half." Then we just talked about dividend trading, how a company gives you a percentage of money back from invested in them. And then if you once you get really advanced, you make your money good with options trading. Option trading is going to put you over the top. And there's several different methods to option trading.
Yes, there are. Those are so many great ways that you can be successful trading and learning those trading styles. So, let's get started. I know you're probably wondering, hey, where do I buy in? What's the best place for me to really get ready for me to be able to put my money inside a safe place, knowing that it's going to grow? So first you choose with a brokerage account. You can go with Robinhood, Fidelity, TD, Ameritrade, but there's plenty of more that you can jump into. Those are just a couple that come to mind. And then you can set a budget, which is very important. You want to be able to take a percentage of, to me, is however much you're saving, you should be putting that inside your investment account as well. It should definitely be both. They're both are very important, especially since you're going to get a way better return on how much you put inside your stock account than what you put inside your regular bank account. So definitely setting a budget, saying how much you're going to save and how much you want to continue to put inside that account. Then you are going to make sure that you understand what you invested in. One of the ways that you may be able to go ahead and do that is by looking at the top 500 companies in the SPY and saying, hey, okay, what are these top companies? What do they do? And how can I also invest inside these companies? Or you can also do ETFs or index funds as well, which is a part of each sector. And when you buy into them, you actually get to buy into everything, which is always a plus, which is definitely always a plus. So here are some helpful tips.
First one, when she says the SPY, that's the S&P 500. You're going to need to know that. That SPY, that's the key term you're going to need to know. Keep that in your head. So, helpful tips, another one. Start small. Please, whatever you do, start small. Mm-hmm. Don't ever just throw all your money into one big trade. That's the way to lose everything. That's the worst way to trade you could ever think of. Don't ever do that. Because you end up blowing all your money at once. Then you end up giving up, and this isn't for me. And you get into this self-doubt thing, and you don't want to do that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's the worst way to trade. Then keep learning and avoid the hype. Keep learning because the stock market is a consistency of learning. I don't care how long you've been doing it. I don't care because the stock market trades all the time. And especially who's in office is going to help the stock market trade all the time. Wars will help the news, but wars, everything plays a part to the stock market. So you never stop learning of how it's moving, going now. One thing's for sure, what goes up must come down, what goes down must come up. Those are two things that stays the same, that stays consistent, but you got to know when to get in there. And then avoid the hype. It's going to be hype left and right, especially in these days with the administration that we have. They kind of move the market sometimes on purpose, and then they move the market sometimes not on purpose, but it moves anyway by the things they do. So you need to avoid some of the hype, pay attention to what you're doing, pay attention to the stock market. The common phrase is, what does the chart say? We'll get into that, but no matter what happens, your main concern is, what does that chart say? Exactly. And then, of course, like we always say, stay consistent. Consistency is the number one thing through everything in life. I don't care what you're doing. That, and the stock market will get you right for life. That is the discipline.
Yes.
that you will build, and you will be disciplined in every area after you get done with the stock market, and you stay consistent with it. It'll bring consistency and discipline all at once.
Yes, most definitely. It sure will. Consistency, as we always say, is the secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
It is the secret sauce.
Some of the things we got coming up next in the videos is the top 10 mistakes new investors make, which is going to be a really good video you're going to have to hold on for, so you know some of the mistakes you can guide yourself through them.
Mm-hmm.
ETF and index funds explained. We'll explain that to you so you get a little understanding of what's the ETF and what's the index fund, how do they work, how you navigate it, all that. Mm-hmm. Start charts and indicators. We just talked about, showed you some charts. We'll get into that later to make it more to make it make sense to you, so it won't look so complicated or confusing. Then the intro to options, which we told you that options game is when you get a little bit better and how you make more money is when you dabble in options, and that's you get a chance to own 100 shares of a company at one time, and it doesn't cost the price of 100 shares of a company. But we'll get into all that.
We'll make it very simple for you so you can understand it, grasp it, and be able to invest in it comfortably.
Right, and then last but not least, always how to analyze a company, because that's one of the most important parts of the stock market. How to analyze a company so you know what you're getting into,
exactly,
and you know if this company is healthy enough for you to invest in, or if you want to keep pushing down the road.
Yes, very excited about what is coming up, and we appreciate you guys coming on this journey with us. We'll Stock Talk with Dr. E and David, and then until next time, bye. Right. Hey you guys, we really hope you enjoyed that last episode.
And if you're really ready to keep transforming, go ahead and jump into that next lab episode. The one right here. Down here, the link right here.
It's probably over here.
Or there, or here. Link, click. Go ahead. You got it.